And welcome back to In the Huddle, talking Science or Hilltopper football. I'm your host, Tom Taylor. Wow, what a game, what a night for the Hilltoppers against their crosstown or cross area rival, the Dobyns-Bennett Indians. And Coach, wow, you did it once, you come back and did it again, and in convincing fashion Friday night. The kids stepped up, played great.
They stepped up and played great, and this meant a lot for our program. If we didn't win that game, I mean, they got the last laugh, and no matter if we won the conference, that's what everybody would remember. And I think we really took big steps for our program, and just glad for what our kids did. I thought our seniors really rallied the team. I thought they really stepped up in leadership positions like we challenged them to, and come out and just played outstanding football. And I think the kids want to play for a while. I really believe they do. And I think it's all depends on what the seniors want to do. And I feel like I'm getting a feeling like that's where they want to go. So we're proud of that performance and hope there's more to follow.
Well, you, again, lose 19 straight to them. Then you come back and you defeat them 3 out of the last 3 times, obviously. You beat them last year and twice this year. Psychologically, and we talked about this going into the first game, Science Hill kids got a swagger now. They got an air of confidence. Well, winning Friday night just kind of gives that an extra boost, does it not?
It definitely does, and in a way our defense played, I think that really, we needed that boost. I mean, to hold them to 6 points after that first drive was just outstanding. I mean, the offense has kind of been what everybody has talked about all year, and our defense has kind of had a monkey on the back, even though it's the same kids, and our kids really stepped up. Defense is something you play with a lot of emotion, and Coach Nelson had a great scheme, but the kids played. The kids went for the ball, and they played like they could, and we had saw spurts of that all year. To see them get it together for 4 quarters was, very pleased, and that really helps their confidence going into this next game.
How much did the weather play havoc in the football game Friday night, being so cold?
Well, it was a lot better than 2 weeks ago because, it was cold, but, you could play in that. I mean, it wasn't too bad. The kids, had some heaters over on the sideline, adrenaline going. It really wasn't that bad. I didn't think it changed much. We were able to do a whole lot more offensively than we were able to do the first game as far as ball handling stuff, and I think it kind of helped us out too, especially in the second half. So, I think the weather really helped us this time a lot better than it did last time.
We'll have some highlights here in just a few minutes. Again, Dobyns-Bennett scores the first 6 points, and after that, Hilltoppers roll and click off 41 straight points to win at 41-6. We're down to the final 8 in the state this week in the TSSAA quarterfinals. Here's who's still playing. Of course, Science Hill goes down and plays the number 1 team in the state, the Maryville Rebels. We'll talk about that coming up in a moment. Also, third-ranked Blackman will play host to Murfreesboro, Oakland Friday night. Also, number 5, Ravenwood will be home to Centennial, and also out in West Tennessee, the number 2 ranked team in the state, Whitehaven, will play host to Arlington. Of course, winners move on, losers are eliminated. Science Hill, one of the few times the school has been to the quarterfinals. First time for Coach Carter, getting ready to take on it's almost like the David and Goliath scenario. It'll be Science Hill down to take on the Maryville Rebels. But first, we'll take a break and come back, review a great football game as Science Hill wins over Dobyns-Bennett, 41-6. Back with more in the huddle with head coach Stacy Carter as you're watching Science Hill Hilltopper football.
From the day they're born, there's one thing most Johnson City families look forward to. Sure, for the baby to be healthy, smart, and happy, but also to be a topper, a Science Hill Hilltopper, for them to be part of one of the best high schools in Tennessee, where they'll be academic achievers, make friends for life, and play sports like no one else. So for all of those budding toppers out there, be patient. You'll have your day. From Champion Chevrolet Cadillac, where we think being a topper is an experience they'll remember for a lifetime.
Wake up to a new better breakfast. It's Golden Corral's tastier than ever ultimate weekend breakfast buffet. For one low price, it's our new buttermilk pancakes, bacon, sausage, signature omelets, and more. Juice included. It's a better breakfast, and it's only at Golden Corral.
Welcome back in the huddle, talking Science Hill Hilltopper football. I'm your host, Tom Taylor. Another exciting night of football this Friday night, going to Maryville and taking on the Rebels. Again, a few teams, as we said before the break, only 8 in the state are going to be playing Friday night, and the Hilltoppers are one of those, which is pretty exciting, with only 1 loss under the belt to Brentwood Academy early in the season, 45-42. Let's pick up the highlights, Coach. Once again, we talk about this every week. So many different weapons for Science Hill. It could be Bedard one week. Of course, it's almost every week for Malik Magoo, but Bedard or Mathis or Mikey White. This week, Tyreek Perkins kind of sets the table with 2 early touchdowns. And let's set up this first one, say 23-yard pass to Magoo. And once again, a youngster steps up big for Science Hill.
You know, he hasn't had a game like that since Brentwood Academy. And he had a game exactly like that against Brentwood Academy, but it seemed like he stepped up in these big games. Tyreek has for us, but you know, it was a play. Malik checked, which he does a lot, to all slants, and he was able to hit him right in stride and made a great catch and able to go in the end zone. And actually did the same thing as Brentwood Academy. It was almost like a mirror image of what he did down there with you know, tight coverage. And this kid has great hands. Probably didn't know how good he was until, you know, we kept pumping him up and we saw it in him. A great kid, and it's great to see him doing so well.
Yep, got the first touchdown. Of course, Dobyns-Bennett scored first, so it makes, with Ranello's point after a 7-6 football game, right back down the field. Here we come again. Tyreek, his second touchdown pass from Malik from 25 yards out and set this play up.
We're running all verticals, and he was able to look off and find him on the backside. Actually, he rolled back and then threw it back to him on actually looked like a post. But again, Malik made a super play and then found him open, and great catch, and went right in the end zone.
And then, of course, Malik comes right back in. That puts him up 14-6 and comes back with the final touchdown before half. A 1-yard run by Malik, and once again, he does his magic.
You know, it's one of these things. He kind of hurried it up. We got down close, and he just got him set, and I called his number in empty formation and scored. You know, it's something we give him that kind of. I give him a lot of latitude to do a whole. I mean, he does a whole bunch of different things for offense, but he got him set real quick and kind of caught the defense off guard and got in the end zone quick.
We're talking to head coach Stacy Carter. We're talking Science Hill Hilltopper football. Coach, you're in the middle of a very special season here. Obviously, got special kids, special fan base, and this kid number 11 is nominated, and deservedly so, for Mr. Football. That's a very special honor for any kid on any level of football in Tennessee, and couldn't happen to a nicer kid, Malik Magoo.
You know, we're very proud of him and very happy for him and his family and what he's done for this football program and his school. And just can't tell you how proud the coaching staff is of him and what he's done, and his team, and how he's made everybody around him better, and they've helped him, and he's helped them also. So it's a great honor for him. Hope he gets down there and wins it. I've been lucky to you know, coach 2 kids that went to Mr. Football, and I don't know if anybody gets that opportunity, but I feel very blessed to just be around a kid like Malik, and just for him going to that Mr. Football is just an honor, just being mentioned going down there. But hopefully he'll win that.
Absolutely. Now, for the fans out there, how's that voted upon? Is it the TSSAA? I know there's 3 finalists. How do they determine who wins that?
Well, first they get nominated. Coaches nominate them, and we send emails to all the coaches in the state. And I talked to Doug Fritz. Doug Fritz really helped out. He went to bat for him down into with TSSAA with Gillespie down there, and there's some subcommittees too. But you know, you really got to work it and get their names out there, and then sometimes it still doesn't work. But that's how it works. Now there's a final committee down there that'll get all the applicants, and you know, I think there's 3 finalists in 6A, and then they'll be able to pick, and it's up to them now.
So it's almost like a Heisman Trophy, where once you get nominated, then the marketing machine kind of starts, and folks are making calls and trying to get folks to think about their kid in one way, shape, or form. So, again, thanks to Doug Fritz of the John City Press, who worked very hard to make it happen. And so Malik Magoo is one of the finalists for Mr. Football, 3A football in the entire state of Tennessee. And as Coach said, he's right, a well-deserving young man. Science Hill led at 21-6, going at halftime against Dobyns-Bennett last Friday night. What'd you tell the kids?
Well, we knew we still had a battle. You know, they had been able to come back from us 21-0 deficit, so we were in there ready to play. It wasn't a shutdown mode. We were in there very serious, trying to you know, find better things on offense and better things on defense to make some adjustments and stuff, and to let the kids know that we're in this for a 4-quarter battle, and we got to be ready. They're going to make a run. So we got our kids, and they came out outstanding, and this played tremendous that whole second half.
Well, you look at this football team, again, as we just said earlier, week to week it's somebody different. Well, now it's 2 tales of football offensively in the first half of this game. Tyreek Perkins, 2 touchdowns in the first half for Science Hill. In the second half, Coach, Elijah Mathis steps up and gets a couple of touchdowns. And let's talk about this first one, the 9-yard pass from Malik.
Well, Malik does what he does best. He scrambled around, and Elijah does a good job too, getting in open areas, and the kids are really, they're used to it now. They've been doing it for a couple of years now. They know how to find the open areas when he scrambles, and was able to get in the back of the end zone and just make another great catch. And Elijah's a great football player. I think he has 16 touchdowns on a year, which is outstanding. I mean, just anybody that can say they had 16 touchdowns has had a great football year, but he is a good player.
We have shown you highlights all season long with the different kids at Science Hill. But this next one coming up, my guys have talked about it. Coach Carter's talked about it. This next run by Malik Magoo, this is something for you would see on a Sunday afternoon or a Sunday night on ESPN, quite frankly. Coach, I mean, he took something or took nothing, made something out of it for a 34-yard touchdown run and set this up as Malik Magoo puts on a show. This just kind of encapsulates right here, Malik Magoo, what we're about to see.
Well, we ran a quarterback read to the left side, a quarterback power to the left side, and wasn't nothing there. It was clogged up. He reverse field all the way back to the right. Mikey White and Marcus Patton made just super blocks over there for him, and he went in ghost mode, as we say. He goes in there and weaves around everybody, and all of a sudden comes out on the other end. Just a tremendous run, one of the best I've seen. And I don't even know if he got touched. It was just I mean, he went Houdini mode or whatever. He just, I mean, he almost went invisible for a while and then come out on the other end.
And it's so effortless. I guess you watch these videos over and over, these highlights, and go, how does he do it? But he's been doing it his whole career, so it's not like this is a fluke, obviously. The kid's the real deal. But, I mean, he is, I don't know if the adjective is slippery. I don't know how you would describe him, but, I mean, he's there. I guess Coach Jenkins and Boone described him the best as Houdini. I've said it several times. He's here and now he's not, but he just seems to have that knack and that God-given sixth sense to create things, and then he gets them done.
He definitely does, and he does it against everybody. It don't matter what the competition is. Actually, he rises up to the competition. That's when he has his best games. When it seems like when he's playing the best players, if it's Brentwood Academy or Dobyns-Bennett or Murfreesboro Siegel, that's when he shined. I mean, that's when he's really played up to that because he really rises to the occasion. And just one of those nights. He just had a tremendous night. We're glad he's on our team, and but the kids are around him are playing great also, and it's just been a fun year to watch these kids.
This is a we football team, not a me football team, and it shows because we're heading off to play Maryville in the quarterfinals. Coach, one more touchdown. The math is 1 yard run. You told me off air before we started. This is one that Malik went up the line of scrimmage and kind of checked off and called this one on his own.
Well, we had a timeout called, and we came in, and we were going to spread it, and we are going to let Malik run it in. And we've been doing a series off the jet sweep all the time where we've been giving it, quarterback have been carrying it, or the running back have been carrying it. So we were planning on letting Magoo carry it in. They stacked the box, put everybody in it, gave the jet sweep, was wide open. He looked out and saw nobody was there. He made a quick check, and Elijah came there and just handed off to Elijah, and he went untouched into the end zone.
So you finish things off defeating Dobyns-Bennett 41-6. So by my Cypher, my West Virginia Cypher, you scored 90 points in 2 games this season against Dobyns-Bennett, which speaks volumes about your football team.
Well, I mean, we've been able to do that, but I think that probably the best thing is what we did defensively. I mean, we can talk about offense all we want, but that defense just played outstanding, and I want to make sure they get the credit for that game because the superstars in that game was, we did all right offensively, but defensively is where we stepped it up. We struggled offensively. A couple of series, we kind of stumped our toe a few times there, the first couple series, and then they were able to pick us up. We even had some late turnovers, 2 fumbles, and they still were able to pick us up. We got big sacks and big plays all night. After giving up the 6 points, I think it was all defense. So with anything that's very impressive with that whole game was our defensive effort.
Look at these numbers before we take a break. Again, they hold the Indian offense to 92 yards rushing, only 90 yards passing. You can do the math, 182 total yards of offense. That's to do that against a DB football team that's high-powered like they've been, not just this year but down through the years. That's impressive. Throw out some names, some kids that really stepped up and had big games, big game, I should say, defensively for the Hilltoppers Friday night.
Well, the first one is Zach Canada, number 9. He was all over the field. He made plays everywhere. He just kind of his coming out party, and he just, just done well all year as a junior, and he is just he's really found his way at being a great football player. So he did awesome. Quentin Alabocas, it was great to have him full strength. He gave those big tackles all they wanted all night long, and played well. Him and Chase Silvers and Cameron played well at the defensive front. And I can't say enough about that secondary. The secondary, they were trying to throw the ball, and they kind of locked them down. And but we put Mikey in there, kind of freed him up. I feel like Mikey's, probably played better than anybody in the whole conference on defense. I mean, he makes tackles from safety. He comes up and plays linebacker for us. Then Trey Sutton kind of found it at the end and was really playing well the second half too. So he's played well for us also. And then the other corners, Elijah Mathis is just played outstanding, and Brandon Westmoreland really played. And I think I named everybody, but then the two linebackers. Bryson Tolley had another big night, like he always does. And Cameron Hill come in there and played well also.
So the tail of the tape, offensive yardage the other night, 431 yards for Science Hill. Dobyns-Bennett held to 182. Final score 41-6. A very satisfying victory for the Hilltoppers and the Johnson City community. Again, as Coach said, this is when you beat them once, okay, beat them twice, okay, but twice in the same season. There's a lot of buzz in Johnson City about this Hilltopper football team, and they should be. It's a good football team. They work hard. It starts with this man right here and his great coaching staff. They bust their tails, get these kids heading down to Maryville Friday night, take on the Rebels. Quick break. We'll come right back and get a good scouting report about Maryville. Again, it's the team you kind of measure your football team by. They're getting ready to see a bunch of young'uns from Johnson City come down there and strap it on and get after it, and we'll talk about that. Right after this, we're talking Science Hill Hilltopper football with head coach Stacy Carter.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Welcome back in the Huddle Talking Science Hill Hilltopper football. I'm your host, Tom Taylor. And Coach, we head down the highway, take on the Maryville Rebels, and we were talking off air, David and Goliath to a point. Yes, they're the team everybody kind of measures their football team by, or has in the past. But they're getting ready to see a football team come down there that's still wanting to play, as you said earlier. You bring a lot of talent on that bus heading down to Maryville, so it's going to be a heck of a football game. I know you're looking forward to it, and so are the kids.
No, we're definitely looking forward to it. I have a confident bunch, very lax bunch. I mean, they're no matter what game they went into, sometimes we got to get them a little bit more into it, but they'll be ready to play for every big game that's come down the pipe. They've been ready, and they will be ready for this one also. But our kids don't get intimidated. They really they don't. And the personality of them, and that's not they'll rise up to the challenge, and they'll go to make plays, and they'll fight like crazy. So we feel like we have the best talent we've had here since I've been here. It's the most talented team I've ever coached. I mean, from top to bottom. I mean, as far as skilled players, the linemen, it is. So, and then you got a playmaker like Malik and a bunch of guys that go around him that always gives you a chance. So, and we're confident about it, and we're excited about it. And we're not going to go down there to, just to play close or whatever. We're going to go down there to win the football game, and we're excited about going down there.
Absolutely. And so is the community getting ready to follow the Hilltoppers down to Maryville. Coaches, start real quick on the defensive side of the football for Maryville. What's their defensive packages for the Rebels?
Well, I mean, they're basic in what they do. I mean, they don't change. They have the philosophy. They're going to do a few things. They're going to do them very well, and it's been a great philosophy. And Coach Quarles is a great coach, and they do very well. You know what you're going to get. It's a very, very basic 4-3 defense. They're going to kind of play zone coverage, and when people catch the ball, they're going to tattoo them, and that's what they do, and they do a great job. They play great technique up front. They got a couple defensive ends and defensive tackles that really can play. I think they're really excited about that front seven. I mean, I think that's who they're probably the most excited about on that defense. Probably the strength of Maryville's team this year. A lot of time it'll be the quarterback they have, but right now their front seven is probably the strength, and that's what they're excited about.
Offensively, what do the Rebels do?
Offensively, they hadn't changed much of that. They spread it. You know, do a lot of two-back sets, spread. They do run a lot of tight end sets like we run our tight end sets, and their one-back sets. You know, Coach Coral does a great job of calling plays and kind of putting them in a good situations, and they execute. Don't make many mistakes, and they play very well. So it's hadn't changed much, and it's kind of very simple, very simplistic. But what they do very well.
So I guess looking at the tradition and the winning that they've done down through the years, I guess you would say that Maryville just has a system. The kids know when they come there, they're going to run the same plays, same type of things, with some variations, of course, but by and large, it's the same thing you see year after year. It's almost like cookie cutter, but they do it very, very well. And so he's got a system in place. Is that a fair statement?
Got a system with great players. A system's not any good if you don't have any great players. And they have players that are, you know, a lot of them coming from all over Knoxville. They really do. You know, it's a open enrollment in Maryville, and it's kind of like how Sullivan County is now, that they can get people, if they start as the freshman year, they can all go to Maryville High School if you live in you know, in their county there. So they have that, which really helps them out, and they have good football players. I mean, they do have a good system. They got a great coaching staff. They got a great system they go. But number one, they got good football players. And if you want to win games, you got to start with that. Then get you good coaches. Then have a good system. But you can't do one without the other, and you really have to have the talent first. And they definitely have that.
Talk to head coach Stacy Carter. Coach, Hilltoppers, in your opinion, heading down to Maryville, are you hitting on all the cylinders? Are you peaking as a football team right now?
If we're not peaking, I don't know when we'd peak. So this is probably the best we're playing. They say the seniors still want to play. They're taking charge like we want them to take charge, kind of leading this team down. That's kind of something we have been pushing them all year and hadn't seen until recently. So we think it's a good timing for them. So we think we're ready, and I think we're, ready to go as much as we can be right now.
So the obvious last question, the keys to get down there Friday night and knock off Maryville and get ready to head on to the state semis.
Well, I think the key is to get in there and have a good start. I mean, get out there and get a good start and be aggressive. I think you got to be aggressive. Don't play passive, and know they're going to make their plays on offense, which they always have. But we're going to make ours also, and our kids have to be be very determined that they're going to make the play. Not going to wait for somebody else to make it. They're going to make those plays like they did against Dobyns-Bennett, like they did against Brentwood Academy, and just do our thing and get out there. And there's some things that we're real good at. We're very good when the play breaks down. They better get ready for that. It's not a whole lot of defense for that, and as long as we can still make good decisions and make sure we don't have many turnovers when we do it, I think we'll be okay.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, exciting. Too exciting times up on this end of the state. Two teams still playing. Scienceville, of course, Sullivan South. They're playing at Knox Fulton Friday night. So in 6A, the Hilltoppers head down to battle the Maryville Rebels, and of course we'll have Coach back in next week. What we hope we'll be talking about. That's what he anticipates. I know he's going down expecting to win. He's not going down there just to get on the bus, ride down, ride back. He's wanting to come back with the W and head to the next round of the state semifinals. That's what we want too. So next week, hopefully we're talking about a semifinal appearance for the 2014 Scienceville Hilltoppers. Thank you for watching. Again, we'll have the same show, same time next week for you. Again, as always, we'll tell you, win or lose, be a good sport. For head coach Stacy Carter, I'm Tom Taylor. You've been watching Scienceville Hilltopper football. So long.